Support WrestleTalk!
Follow us on Twitter.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I am the other one, Luke Owen. And we would like to kick off this episode of the news by wishing the second best commentator on Monday Night Raw, Renee Young, a belated happy birthday. She posted on Instagram, "Let's hope my candles are always this big." That's what she said. But if you can count on one man to make even a birthday feel awkward, it's Biggie of the New Day. The former Mr. Langston celebrated Young's birthday by sharing a gif of him spanking Renee's real-life husband, Dean Ambrose, which Renee retweeted adding, "I'll never be over this." But underneath that facade of muscle, charisma, and good looks, Biggie really is as soft as mashed potato. It's in my nature to be flippant, but Renee Young might be the most likable and universally respected figure in this traveling circus of ours. Her success is incredibly deserved. I like to imagine she signed a blood oath, committing the rest of her ambulatory years to the biz. What does ambulatory mean? Search. Walking. Just say walking. You're Big E, not big words. Big E's teammate Kofi Kingston had a losing effort to Cesaro on this week's SmackDown Live, but it wasn't a losing effort for the show in the ratings. Following Sunday's Hell in a Cell, SmackDown Live pulled in 2.28 million viewers, up 2% from the 2.22 million last week. But more importantly are your ratings. I thought the show was smacktastic, and 72% of you agreed, with 18% thinking it was smack bang in the middle. And SmackDown Live is the rumored destination for former World Heavyweight Champion and WWE Champion Rey Mysterio. Ever since Rey made his WWE return as a surprise entrant in the 2018 Royal Rumble, there have been reports he was set to make a full-time return to the company. He was a part of the Greatest Royal Rumble, was announced as the pre-order bonus for WWE 2K19, and there were even rumors he'd face John Cena at WrestleMania. But even with all these rumors and stories, Mysterio still wrestled for New Japan on multiple occasions and featured in the main event of All In dressed as Wolverine. Mysterio confirmed in several interviews that talks between him and WWE were going strong, but there were some disagreements over whether he would be back on the road full-time or in a part-time role similar to Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, and John Cena. And it appears those wrinkles have now been ironed out, as Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting that Rey Mysterio has signed a 2-year deal with WWE. According to Johnson, Mysterio actually wanted to sign an 18-month deal, but WWE wanted the full 2 years out of him. However, he adds, "We have been told by sources that Mysterio did work a clause into the deal that would allow him to give notice at the 18-month mark." Johnson states that WWE are now planning for his return and figuring him into storylines, with one rumor claiming he could be the next victim of Randy Orton. Allegedly, two people he probably won't be facing in that 18-month to 2-year period will be Pentagon Jr and Phoenix. 2018 has been a great year for the Lucha Brothers, with both of them having great showings in various promotions around the world. Pentagon in particular has had 2 possible Match of the Year contenders: his gruesome match against Sami Callihan at Impact Wrestling Slammiversary and against Kenny Omega at All In. And he also won the Impact World Championship earlier this year. As you would expect with independent stars on the tip of wrestling fans' tongues, Triple H and WWE reportedly showed interest in signing them to NXT. These rumors were exacerbated when Pentagon and Phoenix began to be non-committal with promoters about dates in 2019, usually a sign that someone is moving to WWE. However, Mike Johnson is now reporting that the Lucha Brothers are not NXT bound. Johnson reports that Pentagon and Phoenix are still locked in non-compete contracts with Lucha Underground until 2020, which remains in place regardless of whether or not the show gets picked up for its 5th season. Johnson adds, however, that while taping TV in Mexico City, Conan helped negotiate a new agreement for more dates with Impact Wrestling next year. And Court Bauer of Major League Wrestling has also announced on Twitter that the Lucha Brothers will appear on MLW shows until the end of 2019 at the very least. According to Johnson, Pentagon and Phoenix will also work with AAA and CMLL, the latter of which they hope to use as a springboard into New Japan Pro Wrestling, which reportedly is a goal for the pair. Not only that, but Johnson reports that Pentagon and Phoenix are working with Masked Republic to trademark the name Lucha Brothers for merchandise and will appear in the Luchaverse series of comic books. Johnson writes, while WWE will not be able to hire Phoenix and Pentagon in the foreseeable future, they are still also making inroads when it comes to talent that would mean a great deal to the Latin market, noting that WWE has specific interest in Bandido, who is making a name for himself on the independent circuit. It was the worst Rusev Day ever on this week's SmackDown Live. Click the video on screen right now to check out mine and Ollie Davis's Wrestle Ramble review, and buy your tickets to see Wrestle Ramble live at the Prince Charles Cinema this November by clicking the image on screen. I've been the other one, Luke Owen, and that was wrestling.